Hi, Joe Bodek here, real estate investor and mentor coach. And as always, I want to thank you for taking a minute and stopping by. You know, my question to you wholesalers is would you like to expand your existing real estate income 5 or 10 times without making any major changes to your current business model? Well, if so, you'll need to cure the three major obstacles that are standing in your way. And if you hang in there with me for a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. First and foremost, let's identify the three major problems that are standing between your current income level and where you'd like to get to. It's a fact that you're currently throwing in the trash a ton of leads that you can't turn into wholesale deals for two reasons, which are the first two problems that I'll be showing you how to cure. The first is that many of the leads that you're getting don't have enough equity in the property to allow you to turn them into deals. If the property isn't equity rich, the deal won't work. Second problem that I'll show you is how to overcome that the sellers won't take your low offer. Now, as a wholesaler, you need to put properties under contract at what, 50, 60, or 70% of the ARV in order to make the deal work. And the majority of sellers, they really don't take kindly to that. The third problem standing in your way is the size of your market. Now, if you're like most wholesalers, you work a certain area that allows you to get to the properties to do your due diligence. Now, no matter how large that area is, it's finite, meaning that there are only so many properties contained in that area, thus limiting the reach of your business. Now, to cure these three problems and to get to the type of income that you're after, you need a new vehicle to get you where you want to go, but you don't want to make major changes to what you're already doing. Now, not only do I understand that, but I don't want you to change a thing. I just want you to add something to your existing program that's like almost identical to what you're already doing. As a matter of fact, it's wholesaling, but using a different vehicle, and the learning curve is pretty minor. The rewards, however, are quite major. The vehicle I'm talking about is Wholesale Lease Options, and this vehicle will cure all three problems and take your business to the next level, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro. Now, don't go into cardiac arrest because I mentioned the name Lease Options, because Wholesale Lease Options work pretty much the same way as traditional wholesaling does, with a few minor changes. Look, see if this sounds familiar. You find the seller, put the property under a lease option contract, find the buyer. The seller, I always have the seller approve the buyer when I'm doing wholesale lease options. You prepare the contract for the buyer. You take upfront money as the option consideration. You assign the buyer contract back to the seller, get your releases, go out and repeat it all over again. So, as you can see, with only a few small adjustments, it's pretty much what you're already doing. All right, so let's look at the cure for those three problems that are holding you back. Now, with regard to problem number one, which is working with equity-rich properties, well, you don't have to worry about that with wholesale lease options. Not only can you work with properties that have little or no equity, but you can actually work with properties that are upside down. In addition, you can you can now work with pretty houses in nice areas that need no repairs. Now, the second problem that you need to overcome is getting the seller to take your offer. But as I'm sure you're aware, most sellers don't like those lowball offers that you have to make. So the cure is to not worry about lowball offers because with wholesale lease options, it doesn't matter how much equity is in the property. Matter of fact, you can come pretty close to what the seller's asking and still make a handsome profit. Now, the cure to your third problem, which is a limited market, uh, the fact that you can do wholesale lease options virtually right from your desk solves that problem. In short, this means that you have the whole country to work with, and it's impossible for you to run out of sellers to speak to. I mean, your market just became unlimited. Now, if you like what you've seen so far, here's something that's going to blow you away. You already have the leads in house, but you just don't know it. Many of your trash leads can now be turned into cash deals using wholesale lease options. So, no new marketing dollars need to be spent because you already have the leads. All right. this is all new to you. So let me give you a look at a real deal that I did. It'll give you a great example of how wholesale lease options work. So I get a call from a homeowner by the name of Dane, who has property about an hour from me, a little bit more than that, and he's got a problem. Recently took a job in New Jersey. He's currently living in Pennsylvania. He's spending about 2 hours to get to work, and of course, 2 hours to get home every day. Man, it's driving him nuts. And by the way, this is what we call a motivated seller. He's got to move to Jersey. Now, I had spoken to Dana months ago, but the property was listed and it went into my dead lead file. And a few months later, my phone rings and it's Dana. Apparently, the realtor that he was using couldn't get the house sold, so Dana came back to me. So we negotiated the deal over the phone, and the result was a sale price of $235,000 with a monthly lease payment of $1,000 per month for this four-bedroom colonial that was in great shape and ready to go. I sent the contract to him by email using a company called DocuSign, which allows you to electronically sign documents over the internet. I also got him to put a rent to own sign in front of his house while I placed rent to own ads in Craigslist and other classified real estate sites. I upped the price of the house to $245,000, and a week or so later, Joe the contractor calls me. He has a need for a bigger home because of a growing family. So Joe and I negotiate the deal over the phone. I have Dana show the home to Joe. Joe sees it, decides he wants the house, and after I do my due diligence on Joe, I sent him a lease option contract once again via DocuSign. I then did the assignment, and about 4 weeks after I put the house under contract, I had a check in my hands for $10,000 as the option consideration. I'm happy. Joe's real happy. He's got a new house, and Dana is ecstatic. He took off like a bullet, headed to Jersey. Now, here's the part you're really going to like. I never saw the house physically, saw pictures. Never met the owner face to face, never personally showed the house, never met the tenant buyer face to face, and never touched the house in any way, shape, or form. Everything was done through email and by phone, with the exception of the tenant buyer sending me the check by snail mail. So as you can see, with only a few small adjustments, it's exactly what you're already doing. So let's just say that it takes you 25 leads to get one deal, which was my average when I did a lot of wholesaling. And let's say that you do just one deal a month, just to keep everything conservative for this example. This would mean that to get that deal, you probably throw at least 24 leads in the trash every month at a bare bones minimum. Now, if only one, just one, I usually got more, but just one of those 24 leads works out as a wholesale lease option, and to stay conservative, the assignment fee will keep it only $10,000. That would mean an additional $10,000 per month in your pocket from leads that you've been throwing in the trash. So if you're doing this every month, you do a little math, it's $120,000 per year in your pocket, once again, from leads that you're throwing out. So that's how you take your dead leads and turn them into cash deals using wholesale lease options. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Here's the really big money. Do you think that other wholesalers and fix and flip guys and all the other niches out there like yourself are throwing leads in the trash just like you are? Well, you betcha they are. So imagine contacting the hundreds of thousands of wholesalers out there and saying the following: Mr. Wholesaler, my name's Joe and I'm a wholesaler like yourself. And my question is, are you throwing out a lot of leads because the seller won't take your low offer? There's not enough equity in the deal to make the deal work. There's only one answer you're going to get. They're going to say yes. Well, Mr. Wholesaler, if I can turn those dead leads into cash deals and put cash in your pocket, would that interest you? That's it, guys. That's basically all you got to do. Now, let's suppose that you did that and you found 10 wholesalers that said yes, and they worked with you, and each wholesaler sent you just one lead per month, or you can even stretch that out for a year. Okay. Well, that's 10 deals times $10,000. That would give you an additional $100,000 in cash. Look, if those numbers are too much for you to deal with, and plug in any numbers that you want, the fact remains that there are hundreds of thousands of wholesalers out there with thousands and thousands of dead leads that you can turn into cash deals. Now, the best part is that instead of you constantly searching for the leads, they'll be coming to your inbox on a daily basis. So that's how you do a wholesale lease option. And as you can see, there's plenty of good reasons for you to add this niche to your current business. Okay, so I've shown you the steps that you have to take to do a wholesale lease option, but you might want to consider cutting your learning curve in half by working with a pro who's done hundreds of both wholesale and sandwich lease option deals over the past 30 years. I'm going to recommend that you check out my lease option and wholesaling and my ultimate automated lead machine mentoring program, which you can do at my site. And all you have to do is look down below this video in the description section, and you'll find a link there. Grab that link and go check it out. Now, I understand, okay, that the fees for most of the mentoring programs out there are somewhat ridiculous, but you can get into my programs without the sticker shock that you're seeing in the marketplace out there. Now, if you're willing to open your mind and take a little time to learn a little something new, then you have the opportunity, okay, to utilize what you already have in place to double or triple your existing cash flow. Now, I got to tell you, I've spoken to a lot of wholesalers like yourself, and most of them see the light, but I do get I'm too busy doing what I'm doing, or I'm already making money. And just to give you two examples of some of the responses that I get. And I got to tell you that from my personal point of view as a businessman, that kind of thinking makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I call it stinking thinking. So I just want to dumb this down as much as I can for a minute. You're in business to provide a service to the customer and make money. You accumulate a bunch of dead leads in the process and they go into the trash and earn you zero income. I'm suggesting that you open your mind, take a little time to learn a niche that's basically the same thing you're already doing, which will allow you to put a ton of cash in your pocket without changing your existing business model. I mean, guys, you should be looking at your trash can as a money machine. Not to mention working with the thousands upon thousands of wholesalers out there like yourself that are generating thousands and thousands of dead leads that you can turn into cash deals. Simply put, the income stream that you can create from this is unlimited. You're just never going to run out of sellers to talk to in this lifetime because it's impossible. Now, by taking advantage of what I can teach you, you can stimulate your cash flow, cure any of your lead problems by simply opening your mind to an add-on to your existing business model. But I'm not suggesting that you stop doing what you're already doing. So you really need to take a serious look at what I'm showing you here because not taking advantage of it is literally costing you tens of thousands of dollars on a daily basis. I guess the simplest way to put it is you can continue to throw tens of thousands of dollars in the trash, which you're currently doing. But let me show you how to put all that cash in your pocket. Well, look, I could be wrong, but sounds like a no-brainer to me. These are the sort of things that mentor coaches can bring into your real estate life if you're willing to do away with the paralysis of analysis and be willing to learn a little something, because it's coming from those that came before you. So we've already run that route. Okay. So at any rate, don't stop what you're doing. Just add the machine and wholesale and sandwich lease options to the mix and become a real estate transaction engineer instead of remaining a one-trick pony. You'll increase your bottom line by adding one simple niche to your existing business model. And I can promise you one thing, it won't hurt a bit. My mentoring programs are designed to teach you all kinds of great new stuff and to get the paralysis of analysis out of your life forever. So I want to thank you again for stopping by, and I really do hope to be working with you soon. So make sure you grab hold of that link down below this video. Go check it out. It's free, don't cost you anything, and you might learn a little something, and we might be able to work together. So that's it from here. I want to thank you again for your kind attention, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next time. Bye bye for now.